So let's make a start. Alright, welcome to a very, very special episode of Brit and Poland. Because today, I'm talking with someone who is doing something I would say that is quite amazing. So this is James. Say hello to
Hello,
the
nice to
audience.
meet you.
James, tell people what you're doing. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, I came here to do medical support because in the United States I'm a physician assistant that works in orthopedics, orthopedic surgery, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and I felt like I had to be here to help.
But who are you helping?
Ukrainians, of course, yes. and the Polish too, once they come here, I think, but yeah.
But this is the thing. So James has come over from the States, basically to support the people of Ukraine in a wide variety of ways, as we'll go into in this video. But James, first, let's hear a little bit about your background. So, what's your history? What's your motivation for being here now?
Deep history, I guess, like I told you before, I started out my life in the Army, and I was in the Army for 8 years. Only 2 of it was active duty. Finished that and went to school and bombed out of school the first time and became an artist because I'd always had an interest in helping people. It's just my general interest in helping people. Me and my wife are both this way. We both like to do whatever we can to help people.
But you said you had Ukrainian friends who also...
Well, my wife's ex-husband's wife, which I know sounds strange, sorry, but we're best friends now. She is from here. And then I also went to Turo, which is a yeshiva in New York City for my school, and half of my class was Ukrainian also. And in New York, you have many Ukrainian and Russian friends. They all live together in New York quite peacefully.
And okay, but they came to you, right? And they were telling you what was happening, and
well, I watch the news a lot, but this particular friend was calling my wife every day. Every time we asked her, she was just sobbing and horrible. Her family is in Kyiv, and there was just a really big lack of, I felt like a need of people here.
And tell the people at home, what are the functions, what are the things that you're personally doing here?
The things I'm personally doing so far is, so I've been limited in what I can perform medically, but the things that were immediately available were to drive ambulances. So I spent about 10 days driving ambulances into Lviv and then back to Poland and then back into Lviv. So we carry supplies in, carry people out every day.
Okay, and what kind of supplies are you carrying?
Everything. Mostly trying to get medicine, and then anything from morphine to atropine to antibiotics were the most important thing, of course, that I got very excited about. When I'd find a box of those, I'd be like, yes, this is it. And then the other box would be a pack of noodles. And then the other box is socks and blankets. It's very randomized. But so you have to kind of unload everything and figure out what's in it, and then try and figure out where the destination is for it and who is best to use it. And which actually became very useful for me because I didn't feel like I was doing this, but they was sending all this American medicine, and these guys, they're all paramedics here who know their medicine well. Actually, in Poland, they're almost like a PA in the United States actually. And they didn't know what the packaging was or how to use the syringes, because the syringes are different, and there's fast syringes and fast syringes so you can just load it quickly. It comes in a pack. And then a lot of the stuff you're getting is these old type ampules too, which is the glass one. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, where you break it off and then you put the needle in, you have to load it, then you have to take all this time to mix it. So the American stuff is really, really good, and they were very happy to get that.
But you were saying that you got excited when you saw antibiotics. So is this something that's kind of rare or difficult to get hold of?
Difficult to get hold of, I think. And then because for my style of medicine, anytime there's an open wound or anything like that, you need the antibiotics. You have to have that. Otherwise, the infections become just horrible, especially if there's a bone injury. Once you have an infection in the bone, it's there forever. It's you never get rid of it. You're looking at a lifetime of antibiotics unless you get lucky. And it can just be a mess. It can be surgeries the rest of your life. The smallest injury can end up being surgeries the rest of your life, even when it's a dirty wound. So if you give antibiotics fast, like and quickly, then you can stop that.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about how you got involved here. So obviously you heard about what was happening on the news through friends. You said a few friends decided to fly over here to Poland, to Warsaw?
Well, what happened was I had actually met a lady on Indeed that was a physician recruiter, just randomly. I can't remember exactly how I found her, to be honest, but she was Ukrainian and knew some people. And she was like, well, let me see if I can get in contact with those people. If I can back up a second, though, it was because I tried to join the MFS or other NGOs, and it's like a 6-month waiting period. Like, you just can't go anywhere immediately. I had left my job. I only had 3 months, so I needed somewhere to go fast. So we came to the conclusion that it's just best to get here on the ground and get boots on the ground, which was good because I'm meeting people and trying to be an organizer myself right now at this point. Yeah. So she introduced me to these two wonderful Polish guys that are both, one's a radiologist and one is a urologist, and they had both worked in different zones before with an organization called the Order of Malta. And they got me in contact with somebody here, got me in contact with somebody that owns the ambulance company, and I figured like that's my first step in getting in and just being able to see the ground, see the area, see what's needed. And that happened. The gentleman's nice enough to put me up in an apartment here, even in Warsaw, I have to say, so I'd like to thank him for that. I'll keep his name out for now because I don't know if he wants me to put his name out there. But yeah, and then that led to the 10 days in Ukraine and Lviv, going in and out, and now here I am actually meeting with a neurosurgeon from the United States that's coming over, and he was having some difficulty passage. I had arranged good passage for him because it comes with all of the surgical equipment and everything. Everybody's worried about the safety and getting in there. It's like everybody thinks once you step over the border, there's just bullets flying everywhere, but it's not like that. But it can be.
But okay, so what's it been like at the Polish border? So obviously you have this ambulance, you've loaded up with supplies, you have your team, and then...
So the border is a nightmare because there's so many people going up. But the first thing you do is the trucks all have to go on their own line, like the big, I don't know what they call them here, but big cargo trucks with like containers. And there's literally a mile of them going in and a mile of them going out. Luckily you get to row around them, and then you just show up at the gate and...
But these cargo trucks, are they like the official Polish army ones?
No, these are just commercial.
Okay.
I did see an interesting thing when I was going through the border one time. There was a train coming through on the road on 17, I think it's called, but it was all confiscated Russian tanks, like nice. 8 carts of them. I assume they were Russian tanks. They were all missing their mounts, but that was interesting. But yeah, I didn't see much military going across at the regular border crossing. I'm sure they do their own special thing. Yeah,
I know there's some special arrangement. I know like the UK have been getting certain equipment in.
And that's the difficult thing too, is there's a lot of private citizens that are, like I told you earlier, they just get their own van and kind of just put their own stickers on it and bring whatever they can get and find a drop-off spot for it. And you can find those. So that's majorly who you're seeing is like all these vans, just vans, and ambulances going in.
And because obviously the border's being manned on both sides by Polish soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers.
Yeah.
Like, what's the experience with them like?
It's like life is normal for them. I mean, nobody's stressed out. I mean, they have their guns, and They're definitely a presence of the military at the border, though. The hardest thing is just getting the papers stamped and getting across. It takes so much time. It takes so much time. It can be horrible. We've gone through in a half an hour before, and then last time I came through was 5 hours, and we got singled out because they didn't think on my passport I have a beard that's not white like it is now. So, because I'm older, and so they were like, "Oh, this doesn't look like you." They single us out, and they send us to a special place, into a garage, and then the guys are going under the car, searching everything in the car, pull all of our whole full van of things out, and they search through every bit of it. The car in front of us actually was caught in doing something wrong. It was some expat with cigarettes hidden in every suitcase.
What, taken from Ukraine?
Yeah, from Ukraine to here, because flavored cigarettes are apparently illegal. And
Yeah,
the whole time he was just like, I'm just bringing these because we're in a war zone and I want to get away. But I was like, listen, man, these guys are giving you a free fucking ticket out of here. Just shut up and just be glad they're taking your cigarettes and not putting you in jail.
Yeah, this is true. So, and go.
All right.
What can you tell me about the sites that you've seen once you've crossed the border into Ukraine?
So the most interesting thing is there's just checkpoints everywhere. Sometimes they'll be completely unmanned, and sometimes they're manned. But it's the zigzag of sandbags going through. Every off-road has that. Everyone does. They want to check and make sure who you are. You are who you are. And luckily, with the ambulances, they just wave us on, where everybody else has to wait. That's why the best transport is an ambulance to get things in. Really, it just works a charm. I recommend anybody that wants to come and get a van, buy an ambulance, and use that.
It kind of worked for the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess so. It's true. They were able to do this. I guess that's a good analogy. I like that. Like the Ghostbusters here.
But so obviously you're going to LV primarily to.
Yeah, my wife doesn't want me to go any farther than that, but I suspect I will at some point. They need good drivers. They need good drivers to go farther east. Have some connections there where our drop-off point is, and then we load and resort things like I said earlier, and then it's shipped off. And then the bad thing is too, though, I will mention on a side note, a lot of the big donators put chips in the boxes. And so the cool thing is about having a nice new iPhone is my iPhone tells me there's a chip here. It's picking up, somebody is trying to connect to your phone.
Like a GPS chip.
Yeah, a GPS chip. This is the stupidest idea in the world anybody could do. You're making that box an instant target.
Yes.
So if they don't find them all, but why enter yourself in that lottery?
Yeah, because I heard that some of the Brits, for example, that went out to fight were picked up by the Russians because they had their cell phones on them, and the Russians were tracking their cell phones.
Yeah, I switched mine. I just switched my VPN. It was the easiest thing to do, and it looks like I'm in New York, but I still can't watch YouTube TV here. Thanks, YouTube, because somehow they know still, and I miss my MSNBC news. I'm a bit of a liberal. I like that stuff.
Fair enough. But okay, so I know LV, in general, is one of the safer places at the moment in Ukraine. I say at the moment because it's changing constantly.
Yeah, well, we would never say safe, I guess. You're right.
Exactly.
But because I guess that's why there are so many people that are fearful to go in, because you just really don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And once you get over the chills the first time, I'll be honest, I was scared as shit the first time I went in. I didn't know what to expect at all. And then after one trip or two, you're like, okay, I got this. I can do this.
But what's the level of damage that you see when you're out there?
On the west, not much at all. Nothing really, to be honest. Other than the roads are just hell. They're severely damaged from all the traffic and not being able to repair, having to be focus on other things, I guess. You really have to go much farther east. Southern Kyiv is open, south of Kyiv. That's where a lot of people get things into Kyiv. But then other than that, even I don't know if it's really great to say right now, but it's really a lot of volunteers, and we would go farther out, and there just wouldn't be a need because they had so much stuff. They're turning you away. They're like, yeah, no, somebody already dropped the truckload off, and we don't know what to do with this.
I mean, okay.
And the patients were all picked up by MFS and the Red Cross, like the really big trauma patients are picked up some other way and transported before that.
Okay, I think I have the next question. Okay, so take.
You can use some of that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so what have you seen in terms of like the other like volunteers? So obviously you've seen other people from
So
the
I
US
see college kids. Met a crazy Australian that showed up with a wad of cash and was able to really pull some stuff off. I mean, he was like, at first I was like, oh my god, this obnoxious Aussie guy's here. Then he's like, oh, I got like several $1,000s, and I don't know how I got it, but I got lucky. And he got some buses and got some people over here and spent a few days doing it. He's back in Warsaw now. I'm hoping to meet with him tonight and have a good beer. Then I meet people from. I worked with 3 ambulances that were all from Germany. Super cool, like fucking German guys. And I'm half German too, so I favor them a little bit.
Cool. Yep.
But they were great. They're coming back again, so I'll get in contact with them to try and do some transport for people I find that need transport. And then there's a Czech guy, Ellis, who actually lives in the UK.
Oh, cool.
He likes to call me mate. I'm like, listen, man, like we say man, we don't say mate. That's Australian. Do they use mate in the UK?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, right.
Yeah, all the time.
So he's really funny with his Ukrainian accent and then his British accent that flip-flops back and forth. He's like out of a movie though, this guy. They were great.
I have a friend like that.
He's going to actually take me to Lviv soon to pick up the neurosurgeon that I'm to work with here locally. And I hope that goes okay. I'm just very shy to say anything's going to happen positively anymore because it's hard work trying to help people because you'd be so surprised how hard it is to get the help to them. You know, it almost reminds me of, I don't know if this is a good thing to say or not, but it's like when you give a homeless guy a sandwich and then he says, no, I don't like ham, I want turkey. It's like...
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
It's very much like that. But the ambulance guys that I've met, they're excellent, and they are doing a whole lot of work. And then you have just college kids, like I said. I met an American that was from North Carolina that just showed up, literally just rented a van or bought a van. I don't know what he did. I met him at the border crossing. You meet a lot of people at the borders because you're out in the car talking, and well, shouldn't be smoking, but sometimes you are. And he was like, yeah, I just came here and got a van and I'm just taking whoever I can. You know, he's just like picking up hitchhikers and whatever.
Because have you been transporting like Ukrainians out of...
Yeah. We bring Ukrainians out anytime. There's like full hands in, full hands out. That's like the rule. Like you got to do that. If you come back with an empty car, it's a waste. It's a huge waste. And like I said, not a lot of trauma people or anything like that, but lots of, as everybody's saying, single mothers and their kids. And then you have the debilitated, which are really hard. And that's what we try to pick up with the ambulances and stuff, because they can't walk, they have MS, they have other things. With the other organization, I did do a nice mission where we went to the hospital in Lviv for children, and we picked up something like 100 cancer patients, children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and brought them back. And that was a group that I volunteered to work with. It was not something I organized, but just to make that clear. And but that was pretty special. I mean, like the news programs even knew to show up for that day. And then we took them to a train station. Won't say which one. And they were to be distributed all throughout from the United States to the UK to Germany.
Oh, wonderful.
And so that was nice and special. And then I actually did a second transport for some of them back to Warsaw and met them again, and the little girl remembered me. It was nice. It was sweet. The kids are the best. And we tried to get little dolls, and we just give them little dolls. And And the kids are they're amazing. It's amazing that they're all still smiling through this.
It's true.
People say they don't know, but then it's just that part's just heartbreaking.
But the thing is, they understand what's happening, right? Or do they not?
It almost makes you question whether they understand or whether they're just like in some like
bubble.
But they must, because they must know everybody's scared around them, and but I think kids have a certain resiliency that we all lose as we get older.
And what are the plans for the future? So you've got this neurosurgeon coming in. Tell us a bit about...
So all I can say for that right now is that we're planning to work locally at a hospital, because I said it's very difficult to just get a regular assignment. You have to find an NGO or something to work with that's cleared with the government. I'm meeting several people today, so it's really been 2 weeks of organization. I get very frustrated, but then I got to remember, like, I've only been here 3 weeks. So I am getting some things done, but I really want to get into a hospital and do surgery and do what I do and help out with what I do. And I met with some groups, more expats like you, and some of them are logisticians in their job, and we're just trying to connect people and do our own thing. Because once again, like I said, like the big organizations, it's just a bunch of time, and they don't really feel like they need your help. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
But it's always the way.
Yeah.
I'm always skeptical about official charities, I have to be honest.
Yeah. Everybody has their objective. Just more of my future plans, I guess. I'm trying to get more organization, trying to just be more helpful and get people connected. I have like 3 chats on Signal where everybody's talking, and we're just meeting up and starting to crisscross. I think this whole organization is just beginning, really. That's what I was getting to with my frustration. And we just want to make things happen. The biggest thing that I think has happened here that's really the enlightened moment I think we've had in charity is this new world where it isn't just the big organizations that are coming across. There are just grassroots people coming from everywhere on their own, and it got more help faster than I think we got more help and more people in there and more people out of there than has ever happened in history. And this is only anecdotally I can say this, but I really think that's the amazing thing about what's happened is just everybody is coming over.
Yeah. I love to see it, and one of the things I've seen recently in Warsaw, which is unusual for Warsaw, is I see American soldiers on the streets a lot now.
Oh yeah, I saw some today. I was like on my balcony and like having my coffee, and I was like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" They were like, "America." I was like, "No shit." Like, you heard my accent, right? And I was like, "Yeah, I was in the army. Cool." But they had no interest. I think there's a lot of them over here for training, actually. For it's a good sign that the more advanced weapons probably are arriving.
Yes.
The Iron Domes, the Patriot missiles,
I know.
All the things everybody probably knows if they're following the news.
The UK just donated, I think, the most advanced anti-missile system in the planet.
Yeah,
Something like that recently.
I won't say who these guys were or what they were. I can recognize what they are by their patches, but I don't want to just put that out there.
That's fair.
I don't know if I should. It probably doesn't matter. They probably already have on CNN, so who knows.
But brilliant. But no, James, honestly, thank you very much for giving me your time today. It's really good to hear your story, and just keep up the amazing work you're doing, because I know
I just want to do more.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. You feel like you just have to do more constantly.
Tell me about it. Like, I've tried to volunteer for different initiatives here going on in Warsaw, and I put my name out there. I'm like, call me up. And nobody does. It's like,
no, that's the truth, and that's what I hear from so many people. And that's, like I said, like with these individual things we found it on Signal, like in groups we're trying to start. That's what it is.
That's the thing. Like, I think the support level in Warsaw is incredible. Like across the whole of Poland, really. But in Warsaw, I know so many people doing so many different things in so many different ways.
And it's all helpful, and it's all good, to be honest. Like, I shouldn't sound so driven, but any of its help, anything that's good, and it shows the world is uniting. And like I said, the biggest thing is it's not just big organizations stepping in. It's the voice of all the people are being heard with this by how many people are here.
Exactly. Brilliant.